माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare. जय श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, जय श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। I put one shloka in the beginning from the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam relevant to this topic. We'll just take one verse. That is what? Drishtashrutabhyam yat papam janannapyatmano hitam karoti bhuyo vivashah प्रायश्चित्तमथो कथम् श्रीराजोवाच Parishit Maharaj replied, Drishta, by seeing, Shrutabhyam, also by hearing from scriptures or law books. Yet, since, Papam, sinful, criminal action. Janan, knowing. Api, although. Atmanaha, of his self. Ahitam, injurious. Karoti, he acts. Bhuyaha, again and again. Vivashaha, unable to control himself. Prayaschittam, atonement. Atho, therefore. Katham, what is the value of? Please read the translation, one of you.
Maharaj Parikshit said, one may know that sinful activity is injurious for him because he actually sees that a criminal is punished by the government and rebuked by people in general. And because he hears from scriptures and learns scholars that one is thrown into hellish conditions in the next life for committing sinful activities. Nevertheless, in spite of such knowledge, one is forced to commit sins again and again, even after performing acts of atonement. Therefore, what is the value of such atonement?
Yeah. For the topic is how to avoid relapse into sinful life. So, this is very important. We are all trying to become sadhakas. So, when we talk about You got it, now. These are some of the. Quickly read one of you. What are the simple bad habits eventually leading to deviation? Yeah.
Prajalpa, political talks, arguments leading to apradhas, overeating leading to belly diseases and dullness in spiritual practices, carried away by greed for material excellence, ignoring serious practice of KC, and getting sucked into compromising spiritual life to the point of giving up Gayatri or completion of chanting, etc. Forgetting to utilize festival days for advancement and not keeping proper fast. Inability to give up old friendships with college friends and material relatives due to blind attachment, and getting sucked into bad habits in their association. Giving up seriousness in KC by avoiding going to temple or programs or missionary activities, and becoming more and more materialistic by chasing after money and material opportunities, etc.
Yeah. I can add some more.
Becoming frivolous with opposite sex in offices, not realizing the danger of fall down in consciousness or even sensual fall down.
Yeah. Yeah. Serious bad habit.
Bad habits owing to getting covered over in spiritual life due to not regular association with Guru, Srila Prabhupada and other senior Vaishnava Sanghas by Shravanam. One becomes falsely proud of one's Brahminical birth or knowledge and gets into Kutarkavada, speaking false logic and trying to establish one's own false understanding and countering Acharya, Siddhanta and becoming philosophically deviated, which is more serious than sensual deviation. One may not associate with ISKCON but go meet Babas in Vrindavan or any other places owing to not having sufficient respect for one's own Gaudiya Sampradaya, current and previous acharyas. Thus, one may become asar,
Asar, actually.
asar, lose the essence of life and go to the background and become covered over and gradually get old and die without awakening Krishna Prema due to serious deviation.
Yeah. So it's a serious bad habit, isn't it? Yeah.
Grave bad habits. Owing to repeated fault finding tendency, one may become negatively driven to become more and more attentive to finding fault in Vaishnavas, Guru, and ISKCON society and try to make a propaganda of it um, and become vicious like Ramchandra Puri did with Vaishnavas and ultimately Krishna. Thus, one may lose taste for Bhakti Yoga and may turn to Mayavada or Buddhism owing to aparadhas and thus may become hard hearted. Others who got deviated by propensity for material attachment becomes busy and preoccupied in increasing sense gratification. By increasing cheap followers, become self-centered, start their own society by leaving genuine devotees, etc., and thus miss the goal of life.
Yeah. This is even more serious. Yeah. In the second one, which I said, serious bad habit, at least the person is hurting himself, but he's not hurting others. The third one is also hurting others also. This way, one may get more and more. So there are, when we talk about sin and offenses for devotees, these are all more serious. And also, there's one more possibility is yeah, sometimes
Sometimes one becomes careless in controlling mind and senses, and in the name of preaching, develops
I put it. Yeah, I'm putting it separate para, so it'll be clear. Yeah,
still develops a kubuddhi to meddle with lives of multiple beautiful women and thus falls prey to illicit sex multiple times, creating a ghastly future for oneself and running the stable
and
family,
ruining.
ruining the stable families of those women. Such men are
Sahajaik.
sahajic in nature and even speak conjugal pastimes of Radha and Krishna and speak on subjects like Ashtakaliya Leela, posing themselves as deeply knowledgeable about Rasatattva.
Let's see. So these are all very grave bad habits. These are happening. I'm not imagining anything and telling you. I have seen people. In each of the examples, I have seen people. So these are very dangerous, these grave bad habits. Prabhupada says, what is the Prabhupada says the future of this man? The Prabhupada says in some purports that such men become dogs, hogs, and monkeys in the next life, owing to the sins and offenses. And we'll have to work out the karma before making further spiritual progress. Right now? Yeah. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada says in some purports that such men become dogs, hawks, and monkeys in the next life, owing to their sins and offenses, and will have to work out their karma before making further spiritual progress.
Yeah. Correct. So I gave you some understanding of, because we are devotees. Devotees means we understand in our life what is the sinful life for a devotee. This is sinful life for a devotee. These are the Yeah.
Wanted pure life for a devotee. To stick to the prescriptions and prohibitions given by Guru strictly and focusing on making spiritual progress day by day, month by month, and year by year, and living a simple life surrounded by Vaishnavas with the intention to serve, satisfy, and please Hari Guru Vaishnavas, carefully safeguarding oneself from fall down.
This is the standard. This is why am I saying this? Because while talking about sinful life, we also should say what is not sinful life. And so, oneself from what type of fall down? From such types of fall down explained before. Correct, no? One should avoid this type, above type of fall down. So why are we trying to understand the different type of sinful life? Because so that we can safeguard ourselves. Correct, no? Not walk in those wrong paths. We can keep ourselves protected. Actually, spiritual life is not very difficult. If one, you know, uh, you have seen this horse, they have this, what do you call that? Blinder? They put in the eyes, they put, what do you call it? What do you call it? Some blinders, they call it, blinders, both sides. Why they put, anybody knows that? Why they put that? Huh? Focused, yeah. Because you have to make forward progress. Huh? You are not supposed to get, imagine if you don't have that, if the horse is going to see some grass here, there, he's going to get deviated, he'll go to eat the grass. Correct, no? Then the Gadi cannot go ahead. Huh? Then the driver has to wait for a long time. Correct, no? So driver gives the horse whatever grass is to be eaten in the beginning only he gives. Uh, in fact, in the horse cart below also they carry a lot of grass also. He will tell the horse, now you first finish the job and then I'll give you there you can stand and eat peacefully. Not on the way, go here, there. So we can accept sense gratification allotted to us by Guru. That also I'll write. We are not prohibited sense gratification. That is allotted to us. Guru and Krishna. Mhm. Really? For example, eating prasad, is it not sense gratification? Can any of you say it's a punishment for me why I'm here to eat prasad? No. On a festival day, you know, attractive. You can read this also.
We are not prohibited sense gratification that is allotted to us by Guru and Krishna. Attractive and delicious prasadam on a festival day that devotees eat is unparalleled to what outsiders eat. But a devotee will never accept anything that is not sanctioned by Guru and Krishna.
Is that it?
Whether it be food, lifestyle, habits, attire, behavior, goals, aspirations, etc.
Right? So in this way, this is like a kind of benchmark in spiritual life. Anukulla se sankalpa, pratikulla se varjana. So I read the last time. Yeah. Devotee.
A devotee knows that Krishna Prema is hidden in our heart and can only be blossomed by merciful guidance of Guru who gives us the limbs of sadhana bhakti. Without practicing it faithfully, there is no possibility of attaining Krishna Prema and going back to Godhead.
So my whole control is in Guru's hands. I'm not independent. Actually, by his mercy, I'm surviving in spiritual life. This is the mood of a devotee. So this is the standard pure life of our devotee. We should know this is the standard, and this is how I'm going to live my life. So all other goals, like for example, you can say all other goals, uh, uh, material or spiritual, that a devotee may possess, devotee may be subordinate to the prime goal, what the path laid by. So this way, sometimes it's likely that we still have some material desires lurking in our mind and heart. We may not be pure, but we keep it subordinate. We understand that this is not a proper desire, but we make it subordinate to Guru's. And that is how we follow the Lakshman Rekha allotted for us. We stick to that. Then we can avoid sinful life. So now let us proceed further understanding. So so in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Apuryamanam achalapradishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti akama kami. That verse is, the translation is given here. Read the translation, please.
A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires, that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being fulfilled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Yeah. Temptations, allurements, desires, they will definitely come in our life, because we still have not risen above the bodily consciousness. So, but when such desires come, we know whenever there are some sinful desires which come, one should curb them and not allow, not entertain them, or not further consider them. One should not even consider them. So, like for example, in my travels, one family man, one man was telling that, he was a very serious devotee, but his parents got him married to one lady who is of the same caste, correct now? Because parents want the same caste. So he got married to the same caste girl. Hmm. Now this girl is not very interested in Krishna consciousness. She likes to watch TV. She still reads some cinema magazines, at home, she still wants some entertainment, go to movie and everything. His only satisfaction is I obediently married her. Correct, na? Because parents are happy that he married. That was a relative girl, from the distant relative. So parents are very happy that at last our boy agreed to marry this girl. They are happy, but then the boy is not very happy. This boy was selling. So he saw another girl who used to come to the same congregation. That girl was a very serious devotee. So in his mind, the thought came, how nice if my parents allowed me to marry that girl, because she is a devotee, I am a devotee, she is serious, I am also serious. We would have together progress very nicely. It's a proper thought? Is it proper? No, it's inauspicious thought it is. So when he came and met me once and told me that, Prabhuji, such thoughts are coming in the mind, sinful thoughts, what I should do? I said, don't entertain them. Curb those thoughts. Because your mind is asking for the impossible. So when such desires come, then one should push out those thoughts, not entertain them. Because if you are going to consider those thoughts, entertain them, then you will not treat your current wife properly. You will mistreat her. And also, you will neglect her. You will ignore her on one hand. This is one possibility. Another possibility is the person whom you are attracted to, you will try to approach the person more closely if the person is still not married. Um, and there's no possibility of having a second wife also now, isn't it? In those days, When a man could not get a child from one lady, then they were allowed to marry a second one. But they were in those days, they were so, I mean, spiritually fixed that they could maintain two or three wives very coolly because they were not attached. Huh? Their goal was get married, beget a child, and then the child will continue the Vamsh. And they were very duty oriented. But now man has become so polluted and contaminated in his consciousness. He cannot equally treat all the wives. That's why Prabhupada said there is no possibility of having a second one. So in Tamil there is a saying, Kittadayan Vettana Mara, it is said. You know what is the meaning of that? If something is not meant for you, you cut it and throw it out of the window. Don't entertain that thought only. Something is not possible, don't even entertain that. Because if you are going to nourish that thought and entertain that thought, you will eventually fall prey to sinful life. Correct now? So that's why even though there are many rivers trying to flow into the ocean, is it disturbed? It is not disturbed. So in this way, one should remain undisturbed in one's duties. So duties may not be pleasurable, but what is pleasurable may be sinful. Therefore, the goal is not our pleasure. The goal is uh, fulfillment of Guru's and Krishna's order. That should be made like children don't like to study, but that's what they they need to do. If they want to, we have to clear the exam and get the degree or whatever. On the other hand, there are many pleasurable things. You will see that. See, this junk food, this pasta, pastries, cookies, and all these things they show, many things. They are very titillating to the tongue. Is it not so? But you will see that when you eat them, you get diseases. Huh? Although they are not. On the other hand, doctors tell you eat salads, eat very simple. Like I was asking recently one question. There are three levels of thing you can eat. You can eat bakri, or you can eat chapati, or you can eat puri. So anybody would find which one most tasty? Puri. But puri is fried one. Huh? It's fried. Is it good for health? Very bad. And made of maida also. It's one way. It will go inside, not come out. you know. On the other hand, and the chapati also has gluten. It is not as harmful as puri, but it's all right. But that is also not very good if you eat every day. But then best is what? Bakri. But that will be very simple. So some people think, what is this? Chava, 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 no taste. But that's the most healthy. How many of you know it's most healthy? Correct? Bakri, jawar, correct, no? Jawar, bakri. So many of the items are very good for us, very healthy for the body. They smoothly digest. You have no effort also. You can have very healthy body also. But our mind says, no, I don't like. So in the same manner, you will find Krishna consciousness. Your mind and senses, if you keep them engaged in Krishna, it will be like a hot summer season coming into AC room. How you feel? Like that, your mind and senses will be, if you engage it always in Krishna's service. But that is like eating bakri for the mind and senses. It's healthy, but in the conditioned stage, it is not very pleasurable. But that is what is ideal. One does it because one has the, one owing to love for Guru, respect for Guru and Krishna, and also sufficient fear of sinful life, Maya. And that's the purpose that you should have a healthy fear of Maya. I should not walk the sinful path. And at the same time, we should have affection and an attraction and respect for Guru that, I have given vows to Guru, I will stick to that. And then it may not be pleasurable now, but eventually it's very healthy for me, it's good for me. So with that consciousness, one should practice that. And the next verse, 3.37.
This lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world.
What is the famous verse? Kamayesha, Krodayesha, Rajo Guna Samudbhava, Mahashano, Mahapapa, He's calling lust as a all-devouring, sinful enemy of this world. Why is he saying that? There is one snake called as Mahashana. That is Ajgar. This Ajgar. Sometimes you see videos also come in the YouTube, you must have seen. It's a snake with a big mouth. It can swallow elephants, he's saying. What is because of others? even tiger, lion, all animals you can swallow. What this snake does, it just opens the mouth and devours the animal and takes it inside. Once the animal goes inside, the animal cannot make noise also. Or even if it makes noise, nobody can hear it also. It goes inside and then it will crush it inside. Now, contracting the body, it will crush it and break the everything and then swallow it like that. So it's very dangerous, huge mouths to this. So this creature. Similarly, the lust is such a thing that it has a tendency of devouring nature. Once Chetan was speaking on this topic of lust, he call it a mental AIDS. He call it. Why? Why he used the word mental AIDS? AIDS reduces your immunity. Correct now? See, uh, what is the system in your body which counteracts diseases? Immunity, yeah. So the more the immunity, then your body cannot catch diseases. Correct, no? Even if some disease, like for example, my finger is a little cut, you don't have to put any medicine. It's automatically healing because of immunity. Self-healing effect is there. More the immunity, more it gets cured very fast, like that. But if your immunity reduces, then even common cold can kill a person. Huh? Yeah, it has happened with AIDS people, correct, no? So, having understood the importance of immunity, now come to the topic of lust. Lust, you will see, Havritam jnanametena, jnanino nityavairena, kamarupena kaunteya, dushpurena analena cha. Krishna is telling, which means it covers your intelligence only. Huh. What to speak of, mind or the senses? See, intelligence. Okay, let me give you an example that will make it very clear. In the Rishabhadev's teachings, the fifth or sixth verse in that chapter, Na karichit kuryat sakhyam, like that was one verse. Huh? Na karichit, never, trust your evil mind, he says. So there what he says, one example he gives, nice example, analogy he gives. He says that there is one Pumshali. This Pumshali is a woman who is a prostitute woman. Huh? And her husband, when he goes to office, there are three men who are her paramours. Who are they? Lust, anger, and greed, he says. So, and the intelligence is a watchman. You can try to understand the analogy. The woman is Pumshali, she's a prostitute. And she wants three paramours, woman, huh? Three paramours. And the watchman is who? Intelligence. And the three paramours are who? So they come. Huh? So when they come, immediately the watchman, being intelligence, what he will do? He will not allow them to meet this woman because he knows that the husband has gone to office. Husband, who is husband? Who? No. Who? Soul. Husband is you are that. So you are like the soul, you are the intelligence. So you have got your wife, which is like the mind, which is like a Pumshali. And you have got intelligence, which is your watchman, to safeguard your house. Correct now. And there are three fellows, paramours, who are coming to your house. Who are they? Last angry. Kamah krodascha lobascha dehe tishtanti daskaraha jnana ratna apaharaya tasmat jagrata jagrata. Shankara says this. He says that there are three paramours who are coming to steal. He says, so when these three guys come to meet, the watchman stops them. So the problem is what? He says lust is such a dangerous thing that this woman is also, not only those three men want to meet this woman, but this woman also wants to meet those three paramours. She also wants to have connection. When in the conditioned state, mind is not chased towards the soul. In the purified state, mind is completely like a chaste wife. You will see that our mind even gives ideas how to become more and more Krishna conscious. You will see that. But when we are conditioned, the mind is mind friend, our friend or enemy. Huh? No, in the conditioned state. Enemy, it's terrible enemy it is. So right now, this lady, she is actually not friendly with the husband. She is inimical. So therefore, now she also wants to meet these three fellows, and three fellows want to meet her. And the watchman is in between. So what happens? She tells those three men how to kill the watchman so that they will have easy access to meet. And that is lust is of that nature. Out of the three paramours, the most dangerous fellow is who? Lust. So he tells the other two fellows, see, this fellow is not going to allow us. Let us finish him, then you will get access. That's what is called as avritam jnanametena. Jnanino nityavairina. So the jnana, avritam jnanametena, I told you, that jnanam is the watchman. Avritam. So who want to cover him and kill him? Last. Yeah. Now you understood that. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhava, mahashano, mahapapma, he says. So this, out of the three paramours, this lusty fellow who's there, he is like a mahashano, like that Ajgar snake. And he wants to devour the watchman. Because once he devours the watchman, he gets free access to uh, the mind. Then he can easily enter into the mind and enjoy that, like the rest. So this example is given by Rishabhadev. He gives. Although it's a small purport, if you very carefully read, you'll appreciate this analogy there. Very nicely explained, very deeply explained. So the solution is what? Uh, the husband should ensure that he should make the watchman so strong that he should not be killed by lust, anger, and greed. So he should be able to subdue them, not allow them. And now the lust may, out of the three paramours, one may come and give some kind of bribe to whom? The watchman. Initially, he may give bribe so that he will pretend like a friendly man, and then he can kill him. That's his idea. But the watchman should be completely loyal to the husband who has gone out. You understand? Huh? Because if the intelligence doesn't entertain lust, anger, and greed, and always is loyal to the soul, then there is a possibility that, the three paramours can be kept away. In the meanwhile, the wife will realize her mistake, because eventually she becomes subordinate to the soul. Eventually, once she becomes subservient to the soul, that means the wife becomes completely subservient to the husband, which means then the wife will act for the interest of the husband. In fact, she will request the husband that you drive out these fellows or hand them over to police. So they will go away and she will not entertain them. Actually, it has so happened that in college days, there was a girl who wanted to marry a particular boy in one MBA college. But she told the boy, see, you are a good gentleman and we both have a very good friendship in the college, but we have not indulged in any wrong thing. We are just considering the possibility of marriage. But if you want to marry me, you have to satisfy my father. Because I am in whose custody? Father custody. So you come and meet my father after we finish our MBA. They finished MBA. The boy went and met the father and said, sir, my parents can come and meet you, provided you can give your daughter in marriage. Father said, minimum 10 lakh per annum. After that, you talk to me. Now your job is only giving you 4.5. No, I cannot give you. Then the boy asked, at what age are you planning to give your daughter in marriage? He said, maximum one year. In 1 year, you have to get another job. So this is a very proper this thing, correct? No? Now that means although she has a liking for the boy, she will not go against the father. That's the point. So our mind should be like that. Mind may have liking, but the mind will say, I will only allow when the intelligence and soul allows me. Otherwise, I will not go for it. There are many desires we all have in our mind. See, the three type of desires. Vihita karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma, we call it. Like parents are taking a child to the, big, let us say, Innova car to the ocean beach. And mom is telling, beta, look at the ocean. So, we'll get you some cone ice cream, we'll get you some popcorn. And the child is inside the car. The child is asking the parents, Mom, can I can I go and play in the seashore? Huh? But mother is little concerned that, no, if you go to the seashore, you may also enter the water. Water may drag you inside and you will die. I don't want to bother you. Just sit inside the car. But the child is very adamant, saying, Mom, I promise you that, I will go and make a sandcastle. But I will not touch the water at all. I will stay away from the water. So the mother may, in good trust, allow the child to go out and play. And child also doesn't betray the trust. And after the sun sets, it's getting dark, then mom may call the child back and tell them. Similarly, inside the car is Vihita Karma. That is prescribed, duty is prescribed by Guru to you. Outside the car is Kamya Karma, which you want to do, you like to do. And going into the ocean is Nishidha Karma, prohibited activities. Like that. For example, a girl marrying a boy arranged by her parents is Vihita Karma. A girl like Devahuti, she is liking a boy, say Kardam Muni, and she is proposing to her mother that in case I can marry him, he is a good man and a good character, he is a devotee. She is proposing. That is Kamya Karma. And a woman running away with a playboy, that is Nishita Karma. So you understand the point, correct? No? Similarly, a king marrying one wife is Vihita Karma. A king may marry more than one wife, like 3 wives Dasharatha had. That's Kamya Karma. A king going to a society girl, that is Nishita Karma. So, why am I telling you this? You have to check whatever desires are arising in my mind, they are in which category? Whether they are in Vihita Karma or Kamya Karma. Up to Kamya Karma, it's allowed, but not Vihita Karma. For example, my Guru has told me that you attend the whole Mangalarti, attend the Bhagavatam class, attend Japa, and also in the daytime we do this seva, go for book distribution, everything. I may do all that, but then in my interval time, I may want to learn harmonia. Or I may also want to learn mridanga. Or I may also want to do some gardening or something, which is my personal desire, which is not ordered by Guru. That is called Kamya Karma. That means our Kamya Karma can be accommodated in the course of the day when we have our personal time. One shouldn't say, no, Maharaj, I want to practice harmonium for 3 hours early morning. I will miss whole morning program. You can't say that. That means your Kamya Karma should not interfere with Vihita Karma. So, but Nishita Karma should never be even contemplated. It should be abandoned completely. Because Nishita Karma will take us to hell. Even though it may be very pleasing to the mind. Knowing that the consequences of Nishita Karma are very deadly, disastrous, one has to curb them. Like Krishna says, Natesha Namate Buddha, he says. Yeah. Read the next one, 6.5. One must
deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well.
What is the famous verse? Uddaredatmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hi atmano bandur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Another one also is quoted. Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nashanatmanaha kama krodha tata lobas tasmat etat trayam tyajet. He says, shaknoti kaiva yassodam raksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayuktasya sukhi naraka. Which means Krishna has made it very clear. Basically, there are 3 big viruses in our mind. Kama krodhodbhavam vegam, which means lust, anger and greed. Out of the 3 also, there is only one main thing, which is lust only. Because lust means adamant desire for prohibited activities. Something is prohibited, but mind is adamantly attached to it. And when you fulfill the lust, what happens? It turns into greed. When you don't fulfill it, it becomes a very simple example. Like small kids, give them some gems, chocolate. You give them like 3, 4, then after eating, what they will say? Give me the whole packet. That means turns into greed. You tell them, hey, it's cocoa chocolate, not good for you. What they will do? You say, no, you won't get it now. Then what they do? They'll cry. Then it turns into anger. That means lust, when it is not fulfilled, becomes anger. When it is fulfilled, it becomes greed. So the basic problem is lust, which has to be transformed into love. So lust is represented by Ravana, and love is represented by Hanuman. So we have to transform that lust into love. Till that point of time, one has to deal with the impure mind. Till that cleansing happens. In this way, in these verses, see, even in Bible also it says here, see, do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evildoers. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way, he says. See? No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. We also say that, no? You will not be tested beyond what you can handle. Haridas Chakra was given a big test. Don't worry, you won't be given such a big test. So everybody can withstand some test. God only gives such tests only. So even in Quran it is said, indeed, prayer prohibits immorality, immorality and wrongdoing, and the remembrance of Allah is greater, and Allah knows what you do. Which means the two things are said here. Immorality and wrongdoing doesn't go well with prayer, he says. That means you cannot chant and think that, oh, I will chant Hare Krishna and nullify the sinful, reactions. So I will go on. If I do a little bit sin, it's all right. Anyway, I'm chanting 16 rounds. One shouldn't think like that. What offense is that? Seventh offense. Yeah, that's seventh offense. And then one more thing he says, Allah knows what you do, he says, which means the Lord is a witness of all our actions. This is one thing that can prohibit us from sinful activities, because he is watching not only our external actions, he is watching our even thoughts also, our speech and their thoughts, yeah.
They say like this. At the same time, there are some practices within Islam which are not moral. For example, they get married to their chacha's daughter. They grow up in the same home, and then brother and sister getting married.
Yeah.
But
Actually, if you see, Parikshit also got married to cousin sister, but the Gotra was different. So Prabhupada writes in that place, somebody can marry with a cousin provided the Gotram is not same. So I have one article called as Science of Gotra, which says X chromosome or Y chromosome, correct now? The Y chromosome should not be same, because between the husband and wife, you see, from father to child, only the father's chromosome continues. The mother's chromosome doesn't. That's why if you ask a girl what is her Gotra, she will say her Gotra is her father's Gotra, correct now? She will have it. So, therefore, we don't know whether they have any system of Gotra type of thing they have. We don't know. But Gotram is important. I also used to think that one cannot marry a cousin. But when I read Prabhupada saying that in the Bhagavatam, I understood that it's mainly what matters the most is the Gotram. Because if I am same Gotram, for example, I am born in this family, there's another girl born in another family, but we both are same Gotram, but the same blood is flowing their body, then they cannot marry. If they marry, it will produce some children who have deficient, hands, legs, and things like that. That's right.
cousin is there. Even Krishna did, Arjuna did, Pradyumna did, Aniruddha did.
But Gotra will be different.
Gotra is different.
Yeah.
But that is Vedic, and that is there in multiple places. It's allowed.
Correct.
But here, particularly, this definitely.
I don't know. We have to check. See, one thing what happens, whenever we comment about some other scripture or others, there are also people who are very learned in that. You have to ask them. Generally, I don't comment like that. The reason is because, like for example, one example I tell you. One, what is him? Nigrahacharya or somebody like that. One fellow is commenting. He is saying, this Swamiji is telling Mayavadis to be rascal. And he is calling Krishna also rascal, he is saying. Where Prabhupada is saying Krishna rascal, that is coming in the PQPA book, second page. Prabhupada is very, lovingly calling Krishna as a rascal, and he's calling Mayavadi as a real. So he is comparing to say, what is this Swamiji is calling both rascal? Because he is seeing as an outsider. He doesn't know. See, calling Krishna a thief and calling another fellow who looted a bank or something as thief. Both are thief, but that's the difference. One is a transcendental thief. Correct. In the same manner, when we comment about other religions, many times we may be commenting with our limited understanding. We have to check. I'll check with them. Yeah, I've given some of the modern day heroes who actually lived their lives in good association. I've given the example of, Dr. Kalam. You see, he was a strict vegetarian. He was a very, very appreciative of friendly association. Or Ambarish Prabhu, very, very well known. Many examples are given here. See, even there have been people like this. Tim Tebow is saying a strong believer in God and openly spoke against the vices and focused on a purpose-driven life. You see, so nowadays you will find Virat Kohli coming and sitting in many Kirtan programs and other things and all. Huh? He's getting into good association. People like Janavi Harrison and our Madhav Prabhu and all, they are actually bringing many good children from very good families, very, very rich people, into good association. That's a great this thing. So I have given some examples of modern day heroes who fell into bad association. Please read that.
Dio Maradona, football legend ruined by bad company. Dio Maradona, one of the greatest footballers in history, had an extraordinary career, winning the FIFA World Cup for Argentina in 1986. However, his association with the wrong people, drug dealers, and corrupt influences led him into addiction and scandals. His talent was overshadowed by his lifestyle, and he suffered health issues, bans from football, and legal troubles. Despite his billions, his poor choice in association caused his downfall.
So how did it all start for this fellow Maradona? Where is it? What's mentioned there? He association with the wrong people. Who are the wrong people?
Drug dealers and
and corrupt influences. So he got into drug addiction and then scandals. And then once people observed his lifestyle, they lost respect for him. That's it. So another fellow?
O.J. Simpson, from NFL superstar to convicted criminal. O.J. Simpson was a celebrated American football player and actor. However, after falling into bad associations and questionable relationships, his life took a tragic turn. He was famously accused and later convicted of crimes, including robbery and kidnapping. His descent into legal troubles erased his once glorious reputation, proving how bad company can completely alter one's destiny.
You see, sometimes people who are flying up in the sky, recently Ranveer, you must have seen. Ranveer, uh, Allabadia, Ranveer. He was a good person. He has done so much, nice, he has given a podcast and all with Gaurang Prabhu and all he has done. Very big fellow. These people have sometimes millions of followers also. But in company of two boys, two girls, when he was sitting, something very bad he spoke about the parents. And that became so triggered. There are 200 FIRs people have put on his name. And the Delhi Supreme Court has called him for an explanation. He has gone to Supreme Court. He is crying now. He is repenting also. But people are not taking his repentance very seriously. We don't know what will be the result. But the point is, all he did was speech, Vacha Vegam. You say, no? Vacha Vegam is, now careless in our speech. So therefore we say, Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Prehitam Chayat. Krishna says, we can quote this example, correct? No? Ranveer's example. It's such a famous personality, young boy, dynamic. As much famous he was in that one moment of that speech, short clip, a video clip, his whole thing, reputation came down. So what happened was maybe he was sitting in the company of certain people who brought that out of his mouth. So one has to be very careful what type of people we associate with. How we speak, how we act will depend on our association. Yeah. Next one.
Michael Jackson, a musical genius misguided by wrong influences. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, revolutionized the music industry. However, his association with exploitative
No, that you
individuals.
read, I think, isn't it?
No, this third one.
That both are king of papa.
No, third one.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
However, his association with exploitative individuals, financial manipulators, and personal influences led to lawsuits, controversies, and personal struggles.
See, one thing we have to be careful. Anybody calls you for a podcast or anybody calls you, you cannot connect. I'll tell you why. They may use your connection to get something done. For example, somebody wanted to interview me on Varnashrama. He was having one Varnashrama organization. He was having one cosmopolitan city. In the outskirts of the city, he purchased some land and he wanted to invite ISKCON devotees to buy plots. I wasn't aware of it. So he came to one of the temples when I was giving lecture. After he said, Rashampu, I hear your lectures regularly. I just want a short interview with you. I said, is it on youth preaching or something? He said, no, about Varnashram. I said, Varnashram, I don't know anything. I'm not into it. He said, no, Prabhuji, you are very learned and all. You just give me. So he interviewed me, made one 6-7 minutes video, which he posted in his website. Uh, and many people saw my video and immediately paid him 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs to buy plots in his this thing, in his farm. Uh, and then he took all the money and put in his pocket and he left for abroad, went away. And nothing was moving. He was not giving the papers and everything. And I started getting phone calls. Darshan Prabhu, we have full confidence that if you are recommending something, it must be first class, good. So we have no fear, but still we are just putting a word to you. That fellow is not responding. And I realized, where is it? I didn't even see the website. Where has he put my video and everything? Huh? Then they gave me the link. I opened and saw. And almost 70-80% of the people who gave him money were people who were impressed with my short speech. They saw my photo video and then they had trust in me. He's a man of integrity. We can trust him. Later on, I wrote a mail to him and said, Prabhu, what is this? Yeah. Then he said, Prabhu, I got into your soup. Now I am in big mess now. All the money I have lost now. But you can tell the people that I will give back their money in about 5 to 10 years and things like that. And, then I said, you have to immediately remove my video. You are using me for your business. Correct? And I told him. Of course, he was a gentleman. He removed it also after that. But the point is, whom you associate with, if people want to take photographs, you have to be very careful. Whenever Islam Gopasha Maharaj will not allow people from different organizations to quickly take a photo with him. He will run away. Because he says that they will use our photo. As if they are friends with us. Actually, yes, you can be friends with people. Friends with whom? Somebody who is of good character. Then we may not mind taking a photo with somebody who is of good character. And we cannot afford to take photo with somebody who is notorious and known for unscrupulous behavior. Now, because tomorrow he may use the photo for his personal purposes. That's what happened with Michael Jackson, he says. Yeah. Similarly, a champion destroyed by doping scandal, similar things, in that drug abuse and everything. So, see, I have written some solutions here. I have given something in the bracket, you see. GPS, I given. GPS. See, GPS gives you the destination and the direction. Correct, no? You put the GPS. Similarly, Guru Parampara system. See, set clear goals and purpose. That's the first thing we should do in life. Develop a strong identity as a spiritual person. Like the gym enthusiast. See yourself as a disciplined person, not a struggling one. See, how to give up sinful life. We should not be just struggling to give up sinful life, but we should have a very healthy sense of spiritual identity. There's a big difference between the two. I'll tell you an example. Once upon a time, 2 monkeys were caught from the forest. And the man brought them to his home in the village. And he tied them with a rope to that window rod is there. No? He had tied them, the house. And both the monkeys, they are not happy when they are tied with their hip, correct? Now they are trying to escape. So the more they were trying to push and push here to the window, so the more you push, their bellies are paining. After the belly will pain, they will lie down and they'll go to sleep. And then afternoon they will eat some food, again get up, again try to pull. Like this, they try to pull that rope. The more they pull, again they would get belly pain. But one out of the 2 monkeys was intelligent. What he did, see, this pulling is not helping now. So let me find out a way. So he turned around, U-turn, and he tried to figure out where is the real thing holding me here. Then he saw the rope is going and then it is tied to a rod in the window. Then he went to that rod, started biting it. Whether with his teeth he bit and it became a little slack. And with both his hands, he pulled it like this. And then he got released. He ran to the forest. So what is the difference between these 2 monkeys? I'll tell you. Sometimes we have a sinful habit that is haunting us like a ghost. So you try, I don't want this and I don't want this, and people try to run away. The more they try to run away, the more it chases them. It doesn't go away. So therefore, what one should do, one should go to the root of the problem. Like one boy wrote a mail to me, and he is saying, Prabhuji, my exam is ruined. Last for 3-4 years, my study is completely ruined. There are so many Instagram posts and YouTube videos I'm watching in this mobile. The mobile has become a great enemy for me. I don't know how to escape. I don't know why my parents gave me this mobile. He was blaming parents. Then I just wrote him only one thing. See, right now you are not able to understand your problem, but if you have faith in my words, you can totally escape from this problem. All you need to do is throw away the smartphone, I told them. Just take a keypad phone. Keypad phone is for phoning purpose, keep it. And don't touch the smartphone, give it up. I told him. Of course, he gave it up. 3 months later, he wrote to me, Prabhu, I'm completely relieved now. So now what did I do for him? I helped him to identify the root problem. Go to the root. Because when mobile was gone, along with it, all distraction was also gone. Similarly, the monkey found out, where am I caught? Why am I not able to escape? Simply trying to run away more. So running away wasn't helpful. His belly was only paining. But when he identified, here is where I am tied up, he slackened it and he pulled it and he escaped. That is the point. We should actually, there are two ways you can deal with sin. One is try to escape from the sin superficially. It will attack you again and again. It will haunt you. It will not leave you. But if you develop a strong identity as a spiritual person, like a gym enthusiast example is given here. For example, those who go to gym, very soon they develop a very atta body. And they look in the mirror and they are very confident. Now I am more stronger now. How many of you do yoga here? Yogasanas, how many of you do? You do yoga? There's one there. And there are about 2-3 more. Yeah, okay. So those who do yoga, just for about 3 months you do and see, there is a kind of very healthy feeling you will get. When you do yoga and pranayama, both when you do, you feel like a Superman. You feel completely body becomes elastic, like what do you call it? Gymnasts, you have seen how they bend. So you can also bend your body like that. After you can bend body in all directions, this way, that way, the body becomes very flexible. All the tight knots are all released. Then you feel very, very confident. You feel I'm very healthy. It gives you a healthy feeling. That's what he's saying. Spiritually, similarly, you read Bhagavad Gita, you chant the holy name, get up in the early morning and do tapasya and be a serious devotee, associate with serious people. And then suddenly you will find that, unwanted things will go far away automatically, rather than having to just somehow or other survive. And read the second one, remember?
Remember the consequences of sin.
Yeah, see the second and third. Second one says, remember the consequences of sin. Third one says, engage in spiritual practices. That's positive, correct, no? So, here the example is given of Warren Buffett. What is his strategy? He says that don't make immediate decisions when it comes to financial choices, he says. Pause before acting so that you can avoid impulsive mistakes. That means delaying sense gratification weakens temptation. That's the whole thing. This is Haridas Thakur formula. Delaying sense gratification weakens temptation. Now, what is temptation for Haridas Thakur? What is temptation for him? Prostitute who came to the door, isn't it? And what did he do? He delayed the sense gratification. He told her, please wait, first let me finish my rounds. So delaying sense gratification weakens temptation. That made her weak. It made him stronger. So that means, when you say Shubhasya Shigram, for Krishna consciousness, Shubhasya Shigram. And for Maya, delay. Put the pause button for Maya. So that's the secret, actually. So 2 things we can do with respect to sin. Remember the consequences and put a pause button. 2 things we can remember. By delaying the sense gratification and putting a pause button, we weaken the temptation. And also remember the consequences of future consequences should be contemplated right now. Immediately one should think. Like some junk food is very attractive. You should immediately think, tomorrow I will have trouble in the bathroom. Better not eat this. It's no good for me. Doctor has told. Or it is already I am obese. I don't want to become more obese or whatever. Like that. And then the third one is engaging in spiritual practices like chanting, praying, and we have to strengthen the mind. So for strengthening mind, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Chaitanya Shikshamriti also gives 10 items that yama and niyama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, yamaha, shaucha, santosha, swadhyaya, japa, ishvara, pranidhani, niyamaha. All these 10 items, he says, makes our mind very stable and strong, he says. Huh? Those 10 items, along with our chanting Hare Krishna, and then Vandanam, offering prayers to Lord, memorizing prayers of Gajendra and all that. So these kind of spiritual practices can be helpful. After that, I have written, see, tapas and sapat. Tapas is practice tapasya, like great sages and modern disciplined personalities. For example, Ekadashi day, there are many Gaudiya Vaishnavas. All day they chant 128 rounds or something, 2 lakh names. And night also they call it as a Harivasara, they call it. Harivasara, Prabhupada uses this word. Harivasara means live in Lord Hari. How do you live? Whole night they do kirtans, Hare Krishna kirtan. Till the next day, fast breaking time. They continuously do like that. So this is the example of intense tapasya, Ekadashi tapasya. Some people do. Even today you will see there are people who do that. If somebody is having a very, very strong sinful leaning, they should adopt some severe devotional tapasya. Like I told you about Ekadashi, they fast and chant more rounds, 64 rounds, 120 rounds, like that. And also, one can actually design the austerities based on Prabhupada's teachings in such a way that we can intensify our spiritual life. And Shapat is actually taking a vow to control our senses. Like King Yati, he told his wife that even after 1,000 years, I didn't become happy with sense gratification, so I am going to forest. She said, I am also following you. They both became great devotees later on. So they took a vow to control their mind and senses and become pure devotees. So that means practice tapasya, and eventually by the tapasya develop self-control. That is the fourth and fifth point. And then, actually, this is sixth point. See, I have written 3 A's: Adat, association, ambience. Adat is habit, association is sangha, and ambience is environment. Correct, no? So, replace bad habits with good habits, which means redirect energies towards productive and spiritual pursuits. Like one example I have given here, if you have an ink bottle, blue ink bottle, you keep on pouring water. More you pour, what will happen? All the water will become bluish in the beginning. But gradually, if you keep on pouring, it will become light blue, then it will become no, blue will go away completely. Like that, our sinful uh, reactions to begin with, and then subsequently sinful tendencies, they will all be washed away if you keep on putting the holy name regularly by hearing. So, therefore, um, the habits are sticking to us, and the ambience and association are a little away from us. So it's easy for us to sometimes go away from a impure ambience and come to a pure ambience. Like instead of going to a cinema theater, you come to the temple. Similarly, instead of keeping friendship with sinful people, we can keep friendship with devotees. Those two are easy, association and ambience. But the habit which we have, so these habits are in our mind. So they may take a while to get rid of those bad habits. One has to make an effort, surely. So here is a very nice summary here. This is easy. This I felt is more easy than what I showed you before. See here? Change your ambience and association. Replace bad habits with higher engagements. See, the first one, change your ambience and association. Just like the addict who left his old friends, surround yourself with spiritual influences. Correct, no? Yeah. And then replace bad habits with higher engagements. 3 monkeys, Buramat deko, Buramat suna, Buramat bola. You've seen those 3 monkeys, no? Instead of just shutting the senses, redirect your energy into productive, like Ambarish Maharaj. Correct, no? That's the thing. Third one, develop a strong identity as a spiritual person. I told you the example of a gym enthusiast or a yogi, yogasana doer. See yourself as a disciplined person. You can actually be happy that I am very disciplined. I sleep early. I get up early. I only eat prasad. I don't eat outside. So in this way, gradually, you see yourself as a spiritual person. Then your confidence increases in spiritual life. Like companies put this card. What do you call that? Identity card, is it? So Prabhupada gave us an identity card. You see? Why Prabhupada gave us this? Because we're wearing this, we think, who am I? I'm a devotee. Companies, Infosys, you wear that. Because Infosys want you to see the card. Okay, I'm Infosys. There was one fellow in Pune who was working with Bajaj Auto. 30 years he worked. Big, tall Singh with a big turban, with a big belly also. One day I met him. So I asked, sir, what's your good name? He said, I am so and so Singh. He said, I am Bajaj. He said, you are Bajaj? He said, no, I'm working with Bajaj. He said, but he identifies himself as, yeah. So when he said, I am Bajaj, it looks like all the Bajaj bikes are coming from his belly only. So you have seen people, how many of you have seen people strongly identifying with their company? You have seen that, correct, no? Yeah. So we have to identify strongly with Prabhupada and ISKCON, correct, no? So, and Krishna in this way, and then train the mind through small daily habits. Consistency in spiritual practices will purify sinful tendencies. And then last point here is pause before acting on impulses. Delaying sinful urges can make them weaker, correct? Huh? So these are some simple tips to avoid relapse. Actually, now the next section I have given one nice comparison of a disease. If you can read it, one of you, what is a relapse of a disease?
A relapse is when a disease that had previously improved or gone into remission returns after a period of recovery. It means the symptoms reappear, sometimes in the same intensity as before or even worse. Relapses can occur due to various reasons, such as incomplete treatment, stopping medication,
Like
or
one devotee was very much unhappy with the allopathy tablets. So he had malaria, correct now? So malaria, you all know, sweating face and dry face, it will come in malaria. He had a fever also. So he took the tablets, he felt a little better, then he stopped taking tablets. That's what the first point. Incomplete treatment. Because he was not happy putting too many allopathy tablets. But then after 3, 4 days, again malaria came. Second time, the doctor scolded him and said, hey, you have to complete the course. You should not leave it in between. The second one?
triggers. Exposure to the same conditions that caused the disease initially.
This is another thing. See, when a disease is gradually getting cured, you should not go to those areas which may again trigger it to revisit again. Correct, no? Like somebody was got caught up in the rains while coming home. He's sneezing like that. Now he took medicines, it's got better now. Again you go out, you got caught up in the rain, it catches quickly because just now you had a disease, it relapses.
Weak immunity. A compromised immune system failing to prevent recurrence.
Then
Then stress and lifestyle factors. Poor diet, lack of sleep, and mental stress can contribute.
and some examples are given, like TB. If you stop the antibiotics prematurely, it can return back. In cancer also, they try to do this, what do you call it, chemotherapy. But it has to be completely done to remove it, otherwise it can recur again. Yeah, in mental health disorder is very well known. If people take tablets and after some time they give up, correct now? Again they become mental problem, again comes again. So to prevent relapse, proper follow-up, lifestyle changes, continuous monitoring is essential. Now comparison of disease relapse to sinful activities relapse. I have made a comparison. So two of you read it. One of you read the disease relapse, and the other side, other devotee read the sinful relapse.
Disease relapse. A person recovers but later falls sick again due to incomplete treatment or exposure to the disease.
A spiritual practitioner makes progress but falls back into old habits due to weak determination or bad association.
See, weak determination is with us and bad association is outside. Correct? Both we have to be careful. Our weak determination is like low immunity. And bad association can influence us further. Yeah.
Stopping medication too early allows the disease to return.
Giving up chanting, reading scriptures, and sadhana weakens spiritual strength, leading to downfall.
Because chanting is like medicine. Yeah.
Exposure to triggers. Unhealthy food, stress, or infections can restart the disease.
Exposure to temptations, bad company, materialistic influences can reignite sinful habits.
Like one devotee in those days was told to make some PPT. So he went to one shop, and in that shop there were books available, and he would go with his smartphone and click some photos, from the book, and then come and implement them in this thing. In those days, of course, now you can get many pictures in the Google. search you can get. Uh, in Canva, you get even more. Very big variety you get nowadays. In those days, it wasn't like that, many years ago. So what happened was this devotee actually went for doing the service. But then while flipping through the pages in that big shop, you know, huge shop, like you have some Higim Padams and shops like that, no? So when he was turning through the pages, he saw some dirty pictures in some of the books. And there were very few people moving around. So those pictures agitated his mind. Huh? And now he would close it, he would again see it and close it. Then he came back. But then time to time he would go to the shop. He knows where are those books kept. Huh? And he can visit them. So because of repeatedly revisiting, he became very contaminated. Huh? That is the point mentioned here, exposure to the triggers. So for him, the trigger was that book in the shop. Yeah. Similarly, for some people, the trigger is a person also. There can be a person who triggers that. There can be a person also. So exposure to temptations, bad company. Like for Rajamila, that prostitute who came in the forest, she became the trigger for him. Correct, no? So bad company, materialistic influence, that can reignite sinful habits again. For some people, somebody was a smoker before, and then he goes to the club, and the club ambience becomes a trigger. Huh? Because everybody is smoking, drinking, then he is triggered to do it. Yeah, like that. Yes. Go ahead.
Weak immunity allows the disease to resurface.
Weak spiritual immunity, lack of faith, improper association makes one prone to Maya, illusion.
Stress, unhealthy habits, and lack of discipline make relapse more likely.
Lack of self discipline, improper association, and neglecting Guru's guidance can lead to spiritual downfall.
Yeah. So self-discipline is with our own daily practice. Improper association is our other devotees. And Guru is our spiritual mentor, guide. So we have to follow. Huh? So three things are very nicely we mentioned here. All three we should take care. Huh? Stick to our discipline, avoid bad association, and stick to Guru's guidance. Huh? Then relapse won't happen. So here are some examples from scriptures for relapse. One is Ajamila. Although he was a pious Brahmana, he fell into sinful life. So so that degradation took him away from his Brahmana dharma. Yeah. And Saubari Muni also he fell prey. So how to prevent spiritual relapse? You can read it. This is a very nice summary.
How to prevent spiritual relapse? Stay in good association. Seek the company of devotees to stay inspired. Regular sadhana, daily chanting, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and praying strengthen spiritual immunity. Avoid triggers. Stay away from material distractions that previously led to sinful habits. Take shelter of Guru and Krishna. Just as a doctor guides a patient, the Guru and scriptures guide the devotee to avoid relapse. Engage in devotional service. Keeping the senses absorbed in Krishna's service prevents worldly temptations. Just as a relapse in disease can be life threatening, a relapse in sinful life can be soul threatening, leading one deeper into Maya. Only by Krishna's mercy and sincere effort can one remain protected and progress toward liberation.
So overall, what I understood from all these solutions is that personally, what are our duties? One is stay under the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna, which means accept the guidance which is coming from the top down without any resistance or reservation. Accept it. Put aside false ego and receive that good shelter. That's one thing I understood. Another thing, after receiving that guidance, be very disciplined in life in terms of sleeping early, rising early, and attending morning programs. These are all like medicinal items for the soul. And reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, chanting Japa very attentively. So these things are spiritual disciplines. 64 items. So do it very nicely. A third thing we understand is avoid three things: bad habits, bad people, bad ambience. Correct, no? So bad habits are with us only. So make a list of the bad habits like atyahara, prayasa, prajalpa, niyamagraha, janasangasya, laulimcha, all those things. And also vachavegam, manasavegam, krodhavegam, jihvavegam. First two verses talk about bad habits. So identify out of those big long list which are the habits that I am suffering from, and try to get rid of the bad habits, and also keep a sangha of devotees, both in terms of Shravanam, hearing, as well as personal association, peer association. Connect with devotees who are uplifting in spiritual life, and avoid ambiences where you feel you may be wasting your time or you may be misled or something like that. Hmm? Yeah. So we have to, when we go to some particular place, we should always calculate twice what will happen if I go there. Hmm? Like some brahmacharis, for example, they go home. And there is lot of talk about the problems of the land, problem of money, and somebody is having problem with relatives. So the whole day, 3, 4 days, it goes on talking. So later on, what brahmacharis do, they go in a group of 2, 3 brahmacharis go, and before going only they fix all programs. Evening this program and afternoon program here there, and they take the relatives also with them. They are also engaged in seva. So in this way, a lot of Krishna conscious exchanges happen. So like one of the brahmacharis, when he went to the village, there were 200-300 people had come. He put a projector show. He showed in the evening time, very nice videos and all he showed, and he made his parents sponsor a feast. They cooked nice prasad, and the parents also distributed. So when he was giving mala to all the village people, parents also took from the son. They also started chanting. So in this way, whenever you are going to an ambience which you feel may not be favorable, you make it favorable, huh? by by making a spiritual plan. Like for example, when I go to my relatives' homes, they will always have a plan. Once they took me to 10th Tirupati, when I went to Coimbatore. This time they took me to Palakkad. We had a program also. Hmm. Or they will take me to the Coimbatore temple where I can meet His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Maharaj, spend some time. This time my sister had arranged 2 programs in the temple, in the Coimbatore temple, the evenings. And they gathered a big number of people. Tamil, I spoke the lecture. So now she is thinking that my brother is a monk and he'll be more happy if I arrange some special programs. Isn't call the people. She arranged. So every one of us sitting here, you are all devotees. So whenever you have to go somewhere or connect somewhere, find out how you can spiritually uplift those people and uplift yourself and uplift them also. Make the ambience favorable. Yeah. So that's the third one is about staying away from the triggers. Every one of us, we all have different things that trigger us to sinful life. Trigger may not be the same. It varies from person to person. It may be Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. For some people, the trigger may be a big job with high paying money. Only there is no association of devotees there. Like one boy said, "Oh, Prabhu, I got a job in Patala Ganga." Only there is no devotee association. It's like Patal, he said. I think Reliance is there, I think, in Bombay. So people are ready to go anywhere as soon as you dangle the carrot of money. So that becomes a trigger for taking them away from Krishna. So everyone has a different trigger. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Go serve and all.
Not
So,
only
so
not
in
only
such
in-laws,
cases,
newly married boy and girl, they have to visit many relatives and eat in their homes also. Because they expect that after marriage you go to meet the relatives and seek their blessings. Many people go. That may be for a period of like 15 days or 1 month, immediately after the marriage. They have to do that. They should do it like a duty. They can't escape it. Uh, Maybe they can buy some Krishna Prasad and go and give them. So that way they have given some contribution of Prasad to them also. From they can buy from the temple and take it. And whichever home they are going there, they can say that we are initiated devotees. So if you don't mind, we can offer to Krishna first.
many times, if both the couple are strong enough, such problems don't come up. So sometimes, like
Yeah.
the wife wants the husband to come to the relative's house,
Yeah.
and she wants to know the husband to be cordial, but the husband is very strong. Sometimes the other way also, the boy wants to be very cordial.
But we
and the
have
girl
to
is very-
teach both the boy and the girl that this is a part of life and don't make a big fuss about it because you may not get the way prasad you eat everywhere. Number one, they can do in advance is say that we don't eat onion garlic. They can advance. And they can also tell them, please cook without tasting. When we come to your home, we'll offer the boga to Krishna picture. You can keep it, we'll come and offer because we are practicing certain things. And people will follow it if you tell them in advance. These are, by doing so, you are also offering them a chance to become a devotee. That Mataji in the house, she will learn how to offer bhoga. She will ring the bell, she will offer. At the same time, if you are going to be too fanatical and says, no, 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 we are ISKCON devotees, we chant 16 rounds, we don't eat in anyone's home. We will visit your home, just offer your obeisances, take obeisances, don't expect anything beyond that. If you say like that, they will get very disheartened. If you don't take.
For people like us, we have been vegetarians, and all the relatives are vegetarians.
Correct, yeah.
And
For some, it's not
they
okay.
actually appreciate when we ask cook without onion garlic. But for devotees who have come from a non-vegetarian background, it becomes very difficult for them. And
Actually, if they come from a non-vegetarian background, no, they should be ready to cut off from the social connectivities with non-vegetarians. They should be ready for it. Because they can't eat in such homes where the non-veg is being cooked. Because the knife and the spoon and plate, everything will get mixed up. Now that they are devotees, then they have to accept the fact that now I'll make relationships only with devotees. Devotee worlds. Yeah, it's an important point, yeah. See, Vishwamitra Muni had 3 relapses. That I already spoke in one of the previous classes. First with Menaka, then with Ramba, later with Vasishta, regarding that, what do you call it, Trishanku, correct, no? Trishanku Sarga. Relapse after relapse, he suffered. At last he became Brahma Rishi. Final victory. So this is a lesson for us. What is the lesson given? Vishwamitra's journey teaches us that even great seekers can relapse into lust, anger, and illusion if they are not vigilant. So this is another thing. Be vigilant. I will show you one short 1-minute video for vigilance. Can see this one. See the deer want to drink water. How alert it is, you see? Look at the body, how it's keeping. It wants to drink. It knows that there is likely to be a danger here. Now they'll show in slow motion, they will show the crocodile. How the crocodile came, they will show it. You can see that. Only tail is inside the water now. This much you have to be alert in spiritual life. I don't know whether you are so alert. I don't think we are so alert now. Somehow we are surviving and going on. Isn't it? This is the last one. Sure short way to avoid relapse into sin in spiritual life. What are some of the proven short ways? It's the same thing only, but very nicely summarized here. Stay in strong association, sadhu sangha. See, if you say bad association is the root of downfall, then the opposite of that is good association. What is that famous word? Sarvato manaso asangam adau sangam cha sadhushu daya maitrim prashrayam cha bhuteshwadda yatochitam. Very, very famous verse. Sarvato manaso asangam. He says, adau. Beginning itself, you completely get rid of bad association, he says. And then adau sangam cha sadhushu. Associate with saintly persons. And then he says, how you associate 3 people? Dayam means for those who are below you, you show compassion to them. Maitrim, those who are equal to you, you show them friendship. And prashrayam, take shelter of those who are superior. So 3 types of association, he says. Yato uchitam, yata uchitam, as per the yata yata, deho nata yata yata, like that, he says. Surround yourself with serious devotees who inspire you and keep you accountable. See, not only you want devotees to inspire you, but there also should be some accountability. Some of the counsellors, they have a sadhana card very strictly going on. I don't know whether you have sadhana card. You know sadhana card, no? What time you sleep, what time you get up, and the rounds you finish at what time and all that. You used to do also, I think, correct? Yeah. But over time it gets lost. Sakale neha mahata yogo nashta. Sadhana nashta parantapa sadhana card. We have to bring it back. Correct. Generally, then we started for the newcomers. Already devotees don't follow that after some time. But accountability is very good to become serious. Especially if I find I am weak in some areas, better to have some accountability. And then, like one devotee I've sent to America, he has a habit of sleeping at 11:30. So I have told him, every day you have to send me a sadhana card. Now he's sending someday 10:45, 10. I would say, no, you have to sleep before 10. I'll push him like anything. Now every day he sends, almost in a week, 4 5 days he sleeps by 10. He sleeps. So that accountability is very good. Huh? So Ajamila fell bad due to association, but was saved by Chandaran. So okay, strong association is required. So Ajamila got the association of Vishnu Dutas. Huh? Second thing is daily sadhana, spiritual practices without gaps. Satatam kirtayantoma, isn't it? Chant Hare Krishna mantra daily with attention. Read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to reinforce Chandra knowledge. Wake up early and engage in Mangalarti and prayers to start the day. All these are strength producing, spiritual strength giving. Huh? So this whole second point is about morning program. Huh? Then the third one, avoid triggers and temptations. Further he says, identify situations, people or places that trigger past sinful habits and avoid them. Vishwamitra fell Menaka because he left his mind to wander. What is that famous verse in Bhagavad Gita? He says, when the Vayur Navam Ivambasi, he says, what is that famous verse? Yatato, huh? Yeah. What is that? No. Vayur Navam Ivambasi, what is that verse? When a boat is not anchored, even one wandering thought can carry away and can get swept away by the wind. He says, like that. So, and then take shelter of Guru and Vaishnavas. How? Always seek guidance and corrections from a spiritual master. Indriyanam vicharatam yanmano anuvidiyate tadasya harati prajnam. Vayu namam vambasi, he says, yeah. See, not only you seek guidance, he says, here it says, always seek guidance and corrections also from a spiritual master or senior devotees. A doctor is needed to cure disease. A guru is needed to cure the material illusion. And then keep your senses engaged in Krishna service. Idle senses seek material pleasure. So engage them in devotional service, singing, deity worship, preaching, cooking for Krishna, etc. Yeah, always keep them engaged. And then develop a higher taste. Param drishtva yavatate. True detachment comes not by suppression, but by higher spiritual bliss. So develop that higher taste. And then pray to Krishna for protection. Daily sincere prayers for Krishna, okay, like Draupadi calling out. And then always remember and dangers of relapse. Remind yourself of the pain, suffering, and regrets that come from a sinful life. See, consequences is a very general word. Huh? Instead of that, here it is mentioned, remind yourself of the pain, suffering, and regrets that come from a sinful life. And Ajamila became extra careful after going to Haridwar, and he was given a second chance. Huh? So relapse is not an accident. It happens due to neglect. Huh? If we strictly follow sadhu sangha, strong sadhana, avoid triggers, taking shelter of guru, engaging Krishna service and praying, we will be protected. A devotee should be determined like a soldier, never allowing Maya to attack again. So I'm going to send these notes to Madha Gopinath Prabhu now, just now. So you all can. It's just about 7 pages. So I will just send it to you. So you will have very important. So you can share it to everybody too. Huh? Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki. So I couldn't take much questions, but some of them may be repetitive for you, but repetition is good to solidify it in our mind. Huh? So who can tell me the solutions quickly? One solution you can tell me for avoiding relapse. Cut, one by one. Can say. Strong association. Why triggers? Yeah. Yes. Daily sadhana. Yeah. Replace bad habits with good habits. Replace bad ambience by good ambience. Yeah. And replace bad people by devotee association. Like Mataji was telling, if you don't have good devotee association, then you want to open your heart to material people. That's where we get trapped. Huh? So better have some devotees with whom you can connect well. So all the three. Therefore I said Adat, association and ambience. 3 A's you can remember. Huh? Pause. By pausing, what happens? Delayed sense gratification. It weakens the temptations. Exactly, yeah. That's one nice thing. Anything else you learned? Anybody? Yeah. Heartfelt prayers, yeah. They really churn the heart and we can rise above. Then develop high taste. Param Drishtva, correct. Surround yourself with serious devotees. Huh? Because in that association we get uplifted very easily. Very good. Then be accountable, strong. Be accountable to superior and also be willing to be corrected. He says also, yeah. Yes. Having a strong spiritual sense of identity, like a enthusiastic gymnast who goes to a gym. So we should, rather than just trying to escape like that, you remember the two monkeys I told you were tied to a window? So what was the secret of the monkey who escaped and ran to forest? How did he escape? Finding the root cause. Instead of trying to just keep on pulling and causing pain to the belly, he turned around and he found out what is spinning me down. Just like that boy found out the smartphone is the root cause of all my troubles. So then he became detached from the smartphone. Once he threw away the smartphone, all problems also were thrown away along with it. So one should find out the root cause of one's relapse. What's causing it? So one should get rid of it. If it is a person, get rid of the person. Some people block the number of some people, correct? No? Like some bad people pollute your mind by speaking blasphemy about different people in ISKCON. What you should do? Block their numbers. Sometimes in my mobile I keep names like, time waster, danger. Whenever my assistant comes and says, Prabhuji, this fellow, sometime danger is calling, hey, don't pick up. Because if you block also, they become offended. Some people say, you blocked me? What did I do? For that they'll come to fight also. So I don't block you. You keep calling and I will not pick up. That's good. That's a very decent way of calling it danger. Danger is a more strong name, but you can call it do not lift. So the idea is avoid bad association, substitute it with good association, uplifting association. Yeah. And then anything else? Yeah. Of course, Bible and Quran, they are also scriptures for some level of people. Correct, no? Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if you read the Chaitanya Iskchamrita, he says, when I go to a mosque or a church, I see in that place my Lord Krishna existing in a different form and he is called by different names and is worshipped by different set of formularies there. But here, my very same Lord is present here. He says that. So because of that broad-minded approach, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could write that book, Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya, and send it to Germany in 1896, the same year in which our Prabhupada was born. Not only Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and also our Prabhupada. All three acharyas are very udaradhi. Their intelligence is so broad. If we are going to be very narrow-minded, Hinduistic concept of, Krishna is not a Hindu god. Because Krishna is not an Indian. Krishna is not a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. Krishna is actually Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Atat Sarvam Pravartate. Also he says, Tasam Brahma Mahat Yoni Raham Bija. Father of all creatures. So unless you have a secular and very broad-minded understanding of Krishna consciousness, your reachability to the people would be very limited. Huh? If you're going to see from the Sanatana Dharma point of view, Hindutva point of view, then you develop a hatred for Bible and Quran and all these other people. See, systems are always good, but then people who adopt the system may do many blunders, misunderstand and do many, many things like that. That way, even in Hinduism also, how many Brahmanas misused it also. In every religion, you will see there is a good people who faithfully follow, and there will also be people who wrongly misrepresent the religion and bring infamy to the religion. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could actually appreciate. I don't know whether many of you have heard about it. In Jaiva Dharma, you read Bhaktivinoda Thakur had meetings with big Muslims also. Huh? There were conferences where he sat and talked to senior citizens. He tried to bring about a kind of, you know, uh, universal understanding of God. Because otherwise, if all religions are looking at each other with envious eyes, the world cannot be a peaceful place. There will always be atrocious extremists at some time or the other. You will find in this world, they will come and go, and we definitely have to defend ourselves, protect ourselves, and not allow to be exploited by anybody. But that kept apart. It is also possible for us to have a broad approach to religion, where we see religion in a very secular manner. Yeah? Not only I am a child of God, every creature is a child of God, not only humans, even animals, birds, insects, reptiles, everybody. Now we have exceeded the time. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.